My microphone is not working properly. I think it's doing just fine. Hey Deb, how are you?
Hello.
Hopefully you have better weather than us.
Oh my gosh, this past weekend, we could have not asked for better weather. It was just perfect. I think this whole week's going to be good. Maybe a little rain tomorrow, but that's it.
You mean like you're not having to deal with, what is it right now? Only 95. No, it's 100. It feels like 109.
Yikes. Yeah, no, it's perfect here.
Yeah, no. Ugh, been rough.
I'm just going to fix my audio. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, I need to thank you. You gave us a referral. So before I get started and going over inventory again, because you can't go over it enough, is there any questions that you had? Anybody had?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, cool. All right, we can all see my screen. It's clear. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to start here. So inventory products. So I'm going to go through kind of all of these kind of as we go down. So product lists is your product settings. Okay, so this is a page that not everyone needs access to, okay, to put it simply. So this is your product settings. This is going to show when are you making your low stock alerts, when, you know, how many feet per carton, how is it going to present, things like that. So now you're actually seeing a couple new features that are coming in, okay? So you're going to be able to see here, you're able to put in private product names and labels. So now in your, and this is going to be for inventory and non-inventory products, okay? So you're able to set specific colors so you can choose how you want to present it, okay? Then over here you have the purchase U of M, the coverage. Excuse me. Your selling unit of measure over here, right, is how you want it to present to the customer on the quotes or the invoices. Okay, so that way you can edit that there on what you choose to do. All right, so we have the minimum quantity here. This is going to be your low stock alert, okay? This is also based on the unit of measure. So that's how many boxes, things like that you need before you're able to, before it gives you a low stock alert, okay? So what do those low stock alerts look like, okay? So they turn the product line red, as you can see here. Now, I want to point out to you guys that the notify here, once you have notify on, that's what's going to cause the message up here. So you're going to be able to see what's going on. Okay? All right. So any questions as far as the product list page goes? All right. Awesome. Now, I do want you to keep in mind that you can show inventory here. So you can actually see, and this is going to show you the batches of inventory, which is going to bring you to the product stock page. So this product stock page here, okay, this is going to give you an overview of all the different products that you have in the system, okay, and kind of run the numbers. So this is where the warehouse is going to work off of, okay? So this is where they're going to be able to run their stock reports. Keep in mind, it's easily exportable to Excel, okay? So let me go over these definitions again. So quantity here, all right, letting some people in, okay? So quantity here tells you how many rolls you have, okay? So, or boxes, things like that. So how many you've ordered year to date, okay? So how many were in your warehouse year end, plus everything you've ordered this year, okay? So that's what the quantity is, okay? Picked up means what's left your warehouse, okay? And then that leaves you with on hand. So this minus this equals this, okay? Then on hand is split into three categories. We have allocated, prepared, and available. Allocated would be engaged to a job, okay? But it is still on your shelf. So this is, it's promised, it's assigned to a job, it's already been sold, okay? But it's still on your shelf, okay? Prepared means it's off your shelf, but still in your warehouse. So this means you moved it and got it ready for the installer. You've picked it, right? The reason why we don't call it picked is picked and picked up is a little too close, right? So when you look at it here, you have picked, so you have picked up, you have on hand, you have allocated. So prepared would be the next step, right? So this is picked, it's out, it's moved to your warehouse, right? It's still in your warehouse, but it's moved out of the normal place it is, okay? And then the last thing here, it's available, okay? And available is available to sell, okay? Keep in mind, this is what your salesmen see when they go to sell a product, okay? They're going to see what's available, okay? They aren't going to see the others. Now, so how do we add to inventory? Okay, there's two ways to add to inventory. One is you select the product that you're wanting to work with, okay? So let's start with a from scratch product. So first I have to go to the product list and add it, okay? So we're going to go here. We're going to say it's new vendor, okay? Floorzap. Oh, it's not letting me create it. All right, so we're just going to go here. We're going to select MSI, SKU number. Okay, so vendor product name. Name, style, color. Okay, I'm going to be really inventive here. And then for this one, there isn't going to be a, we'll just copy and paste it, okay? Again, you're seeing some things that are coming, okay? So purchase, we're going to say it's by the box because we're going to say it's a vinyl. So it's by the box, and then we're going to say it's 25 square feet per box. We're just going to make it really easy moving forward. We're selling it by the square foot. Minimum quantity. So I want an alert when it goes under 25 boxes, okay? And then we're going to round up quantity. What round up quantity means, are you going to sell partials of the material? So we are not going to sell partials because it's a vinyl. And then I want it to notify me once it gets to the low stock alert, okay? So this minimum quantity is any unit of measures, and then it is what you get your low stock alert on and save. Okay. Now we have the product in here. Now we're going to show an inventory, and we're going to add some to it. So we're going to add 30 boxes in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm under the product stock page under inventory. Okay, and I'm going to hit the other way you can get to this page, okay, and it's just getting to the exact same page, is if you go here and click the show inventory button on the product list page. It brings you to the same page. You're going to hit add existing inventory, okay, and then we're going to go here, select the warehouse it's in, okay, and then we're putting the quantity that we're going to do, okay, so we can say we have 27 boxes, okay, costs us $2.99 a square foot. Work order cost. So what is work order cost? Okay, and I get this question a lot. Company cost should be the raw number that was on the invoice from the manufacturer to you. Okay, work order cost is how you want your job costing to work. And this can take into account any number of things. That's why we allow it to be free. Some people only put in shipping. Some people put in like warehouse bills and utility bills and add that to it. So there's so much more that could go into that. Some people just put a load on their inventory products, just go to the company. So we just allow you to free do it. So that's how it goes into your job costing, okay, in the work order, right? Because your work order is your job costing place. Now, you know, the next question I get asked is, does it affect your numbers? No, we do things on a cash basis. So the payment that you make for the inventory is what affects your profit and loss statement, your income details in our system. It is not what you costed it on in the job, because we do a cash system. So it's when the cash leaves your for your inventory. Okay, so it won't affect your inventory numbers, okay? And it's not going to affect your numbers, so you can make this whatever. It's not going to affect your profit and loss statement, okay? Any questions with that?
If you leave that unfilled in, does it do anything?
You mean the work order cost?
Yeah.
If you leave it like it does, yeah, no, it's a required field. So if you,
it is, okay.
If you, yeah, and that's why it's starred. And if you leave it, it just copies the company cost by default.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that people will do with this number, this work order cost number, is you can actually make it less than the company cost. Why would I do that? Basically, if you're asking yourself that, it's because you just want to get rid of the product. You don't care how it goes out. So you give your guys higher commission on it. That's the purpose of it. Makes it easier for your guys to sell. So again, that won't affect your overall numbers. It'll just make your income less, right? Because that's what it's calculating the price on, okay? Have a markup percentage, and it has the customer price, okay? And then PO active. So a lot of people are wondering, what does PO active mean? Okay, so PO active, just allows you to select which purchase order that the materials are being selected from. Okay, so which purchase order are the materials being selected from? So if you have multiple purchase orders in your system from the same product, you'd be able to find out which one is being selected from by knowing which one's the active purchase order, because that's the one it's going to pull from first. Okay, it's first in, first out in our system, so it's FIFO, but you can override it with this. Okay. Any questions? Cool. So you go back to the product list. Okay, I'm going to refresh it so everyone can see what's going on. Oh. So you have the product here, and then what did I do for the low stock alert? 25, so now we have 27, so it's not a low stock alert. Now, how do I add products in? Okay, or how do I place a new order? So if you're placing new orders, so if you're buying the system and want the payment to be in Floorzap, you need to do it through purchase orders. That's the big deal. Because when you add pre-existing inventory, it's basically adding to your account balance of inventory that's already there, okay, pre-existing the system date. When you go to purchase orders and add it, that's when the payment goes in, so that's when it's going to go into your financials. So if you want the inventory purchase order to go into your financials, which I assume you do, then you need to add it as a purchase order here. Okay, so hit purchase orders. When you do that, you're going to hit add new. Okay, and then you're going to select the vendor we're doing it from. So in this case, we're going to do MSI. We're going to select the product. Okay, then we can select multiple products if there are multiple, and we hit add selected products. Product's going to pull in here, and we're ordering how many boxes are we ordering. Okay, and then it gives you your coverage and total price per box. Okay, now the price per square foot can be edited later. It's just using a rough estimate of what you guys already had in the system. Okay, just put it in as a rough estimate. It can be edited later in the next screen. Okay, we have warehouse here, so we must select the warehouse. Any of this information is optional with the shipping. Okay, comments, and then we go in and hit save. Now, if you want to send it the purchase order to the manufacturer, after you hit save, you can go back in here and edit it, and you can hit print purchase order, which will print it, and it's the same page that you see in the shopping cart screen within like a work order or something. Okay. Any questions? Okay. The next stage, okay, is when it comes in. So you're gonna hit shipment arrival. When you hit shipment arrival, you're gonna be able to correct estimated partners, estimated arrival, estimated shipping costs. So in this case, we forgot to put them in. So I'm gonna put in $150 for shipping. Okay. We have the quantity here. You can put where you're putting in the stock. Okay. So this would be the place in the warehouse, the more specific. Okay. Then we have here 80, 80. So this is the reason why we give you a chance to correct the quantity is sometimes boxes will come in damaged, or they don't ship enough, or they accidentally ship too much. So that way you can correct. The coverage, it's automatically set up from the product, and the company cost here. Again, this should match the invoice in its entirety. So it should match directly what it says. So in this case, you know, we can say it does $298. It does that. It automatically changes your box quantity as well. Okay, so that's why I said it doesn't matter if your box is just off. You're going to be able to edit it by putting the unit price in here. This allows you the ability sometimes with rounding and stuff like that. It's easier to put it in a box cost. That's why. Work order cost. Okay, so again, we can set this to what we need to take into account other things. So I'm going to set it at $365. It's going to customer price on a 50% markup, so that's what it reaches there. Okay, the total amount is calculated here. Actual final cost, you can add in taxes and fees if needed, or other costs like fuel surcharges, things like that, to add into the bill. This number here, that's the one that's going to go into your financials. Okay, so that number must be accurate. Okay, we hit save. Then it's received. Okay, it's still editable until it's received. The last step is move to inventory. That finalizes the purchase order and adds it and lets it available to the salesman. So that's after you reconcile it, you know what your pricing is and all that. Okay, any questions with the shipment arrival page? Okay, One question I have for someone in the group that they don't know is this page is actually going to be printable by the time the next update comes. All right. Is everything making sense so far to everybody? Any questions? All right, cool. So now when we go back into stock, we're going to see here the inventory. We have both batches of inventory in here. Okay. Now we're going to create a quote. Okay. So I want you guys to notice here the different symbols on the left. Is going to show you whether it's a stock type, non-inventory, or inventory product. So it's going to be on the top here, and we're going to hit add material. You can click here and actually see if it has a different label as well, the manufacturer label. So that's why you can see that there. Okay. And we're going to hit add one. Now we have it in. So we didn't put in the coverage in here, so I'm going to say 800 square feet. Okay, it's going to be 25 boxes, or 32 boxes, sorry. So we hit save. Now we have that in here. Okay, as you can see, there's no low stock alert. If I were to add the same thing and just do an astronomical amount of square footage, okay, do 10,000 square feet. Now all of a sudden you see here, when we do this, you get a low stock alert on both options because you do not have enough. Okay, for the private name, which would you show if there was one? Okay, so the private label name is going to be the one that shows, and then you can search by either. Yes, they're both searchable, but we're going to go over more on that on Friday. So this Friday at 1 p.m., we're going to do our roundtable for the 4.5 update. It's going to go over private labels, stuff like that. So that's going to be at 1 p.m. on Friday. Okay. Now, if we go back here, we can see that it says a low stock alert that you don't have enough. Okay, it says you have 107 boxes, and right here we need 400 boxes to cover what we're going after. Okay, so I'm going to remove this here, but 32 boxes. Yeah, perfect. All right. So then I'm going to go quote action. Okay, I'm going to actually save this as a template really quick. So that way we can come back later and be faster. Save. So we're going to quote action and convert to invoice. Okay. Now, when I do that and we look at the inventory stock page, sorry, that's the demo site. And we look at the inventory stock page. So when we go here, nothing's changed. Okay. So you see this, nothing's changed. As soon as I go invoice actions, mark as signed. Okay. Now when I go here, refresh the page, now 32 boxes have been allocated. See, it doesn't change the on-hand quantity. It doesn't change the total quantity order. It doesn't change anything else, but now the allocated is here. Okay, so it's still in your house as far as, it's still in your inventory as far as like financials are concerned, but it's no longer in your warehouse as far as salesman is concerned. Okay, so these ones are for salespeople, or this one is more for the financials. Okay, because it doesn't matter if you're in your warehouse if it's already sold. Can't sell it. Okay. Now, when we go into the work order, it's going to see that the automatic allocation has taken place. Okay, but it's split into two lines. Okay, that's why we did the singular product, so you'd be able to see it very vividly. Okay, there is two lines. The reason why is it's pulling from two different purchase orders with two different prices. So you see the unit cost here is $325, and here it's $365. Okay, so when it splits up, do not panic because that's what it is doing. Okay. So any questions about the splitting of the line items, things like that? Okay. Awesome. Alrighty. So now when I duplicate a tab, I'm going to look at, so here's what it's going to look like from the inventory jobs page. That's the next one on the left, okay? So they're going to be able to see that this is allocated. So as soon as it's signed, it's going to pop up. New means it's been unallocated, so specifically unallocated for whatever reason. So we can select in this product and look, and it says new. Okay, so this product has not been allocated. Now the reason why this product hasn't been allocated is it's actually short because you don't have enough material in it. So that's a way you can see it as well. Okay. Now they see here allocated. Okay, and then they're able to see the scheduled date. So when you're in the work order and you schedule someone, so let's say we can schedule labor even if it's for delivery. Okay, so we'll do general service and then a delivery charge, so a trip charge. Here it is to deliver the material. Okay, and save. No, we just want one for the quantity. Sorry. Save. So once you do the delivery in contractor actions, you can select who's doing it. Contractor actions, add view schedule. And now they're on the schedule. We hit save. Okay. They've been scheduled. Now, when you go back to this page, they're going to be able to see the scheduled date. The scheduled date is very useful, especially when you're sorting by the scheduled date, because that way you can see what you need to get done. Okay. And over here, you can actually, again, search by the date here. So you can search, like I'm looking for everything that's scheduled on, did I do today? Okay. So the last 7 days, and I can see that these products are in here. Okay. Right. So this is what's going to let them know what to do and what to prepare, right? So and get ready. Okay. Then what they can do is bulk action. Okay. And then we're going to do the action of prepare. They're going to see everything. They can select and select. Okay, they can even select a specific invoice if they're working on a specific invoice. Do both of those. Hit save. Now they're prepared. Then again, we're doing the next thing. Okay, which is picked up, selecting both the products, hitting save, and now they're picked up, which is what your warehouse is going to do. And then when the installer comes, they're going to mark it as picked up. Now, whether your warehouse marks it as picked up or your installer marks it picked up, obviously you can do it both ways. But most people that keep inventory in warehouse do have their guys mark it as picked up when the installer comes. Okay, now we can go back and we're seeing how it affects other places. So now the allocated goes from here to here. Okay, when you unallocate any of it or mark, so when I go in, I delete the product tracking here. Okay, so I'm going to mark it as picked up. Then when I go back here, you're going to see where it is in each stage. So you have 5 boxes picked up and 27 boxes prepared sitting there. Again, so nothing's changed about the available because they were already sold between the last page and this page. Allocated, prepared, right? You can see as it moves, and then we go here, and then we're going to mark it picked up, and then it's going to be all 27 boxes, and now it's going to be gone, and then now it's going to show everything as picked up. Any questions? Hopefully because I'm making perfect sense and not confusing a lot of everybody.
Right, I actually do have a question in regards to when you said the feature to notify me. Who is it notifying? Just the person that's trying to sell it or a person that's interested in buying more product for stock?
So right here, it puts the alert there. So it alerts everybody, actually.
Okay, so if there's a person on staff here that doesn't sell anything, do we then alert that person? Like if we're in there selling and we want to sell 5 of something and it says, oh shoot, you don't have enough. Do we just physically alert that person via email or because they're not going to see that, I don't think. Do they anywhere?
I mean, they're going to see it in the same spot, and then on alerts, they're going to have to check their alerts. But as soon as it gets pulled out, hopefully what you know, when you're going and you're adding products, and we're going back to a quote real quick. Okay. And when you're adding products, they'll be able to tell. Okay. So when you hit add product here, you can see what's available and the last time it was ordered. So hopefully they're not overselling because they're going to see what they have available right there.
Okay. So really, in that regard, a salesperson that's interested in selling something that we do regular business with, when they realize, you know, oh shoot, I need 100 of these and we only have 50, they're just really going to turn to the person that orders stock product and just tell them that. We can't necessarily set an alert for one specific person for the threshold, or can you?
Right. No, so no, you can't expect a little. And theoretically speaking, when they see this, let's say you need 100 boxes, and right now we know there's not 100 boxes, right?
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
mean, I think the quickest way would be go to them, or you can create a task in the system to order product, and they can put like the SKU number or something, order inventory.
Okay.
I'm about to sell it. That's another way that people do it. So that way, there's a task in the system, and it alerts that person, and they can see it, things like that. Because if it's a big enough job, it's possible if you didn't set your threshold high enough that they're going to
Mm,
take everything. Like if they could be at the 51st box and your threshold is at 50,
right. Okay. That makes sense.
you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, I'm not, I need 52 boxes, and it's just unfortunate. Like, that happened that way.
The coincidence. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
So you can do it. And so that's what I would recommend is tasks. If they can't just go to them. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to select this product again. Okay. And I'm going to go here and then put 2,000 square feet in here. So that's going to be 80 boxes. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit too much, and it's going to give me the low stock alert. Okay. All right. So then we go quote action. We go to convert to invoice. Okay. Okay, it's giving me the low stock alert, and then I sign. So what happens when this happens? Okay. So what it's going to do, okay, it's going to allocate some and then not allocate the rest. And then it's going to give the alert here that insufficient quantity in inventory. Okay. Then you guys are going to have to decide what to do from here. Okay. So normally you can either try to see if you can get away with 75 boxes instead of 80. But let's say you wanted to order more material here. Okay, for this job. So you're 5 boxes short, so you're going to order more for your warehouse because it seems to be selling. Okay. So what you'd have to do is go to purchase orders. Okay, and we're going to have to order it again. Okay. So let's just say there's 80 boxes on a pallet, so we'll do the exact same thing. Right, and then of course now just with the prices, now it's going to be, $81 because that just seems to be what it is, right? Go in, we hit save, then we're doing the shipment arrival again, okay? So the shipment arrival allows you to change quantity, change price. So you see the company cost of $324, so let's say it's $325, and then your work order cost, now you're doing like $4, right? Or we'll do $3.99, make it seem cheaper, right? Then we have the customer price here and the 50% margin. Okay, we're putting on this. Okay, we hit save. It's not going to change anything until you hit move to inventory. So once you're sure and to finalize the order, you hit move to inventory. Okay, and again for your financials, it's this number at the bottom that's going to have to be right. Okay, so now when you move to inventory, what happens? Does it automatically add it in? Okay. Not at this time, so it doesn't automatically add it in. So what you're going to have to do is go into the work order and see this product. Okay, and then you're going to hit materials, search inventory products. You'll be able to select the product at that point and add one materials. It's saying how much do you want to pull. from where, and you're saying I'm going to pull in 5 boxes and hit add, make sure this matches this. Oftentimes you can just add it and then copy and paste the square footage in. Works like a charm. Delete the old line item, hit save, and then the important thing over here is to go and allocate the material after you've done that. So you allocate the 5 boxes on that date. Okay? So that way you have it in. Now, if you're wondering how do I tell what invoices that product's in, okay, the best way to do that is actually in the reports, vendors, okay, and materials sold. You can sort by inventory products, and you can select the product here, click it, and choose, and it shows you which jobs that it's in. So you'll always be able to tell which jobs it's in as a little quick fix to see what's going on. Okay. Obviously, when you're doing inventory, it's going to actually even tell you which products you have that are low because you've sold too much of it. See over here. So you're getting a low stock alert. So this report is really, really nice because you can see what jobs it's used and what jobs it's sold in. Okay. The same with like a product stock report. So you can be able to see and click, okay, 32 boxes are used here, 80 boxes are using here. Okay. Another question I get asked a lot is, okay, we sold this job, but it's happening in 6 months. Okay, what do we do? All right. So it depends. If you want to just save that material because you're worried about getting it with the lead times and everything, you can do it that way. Totally get it. Then you do nothing. Okay. If you want to make that available for sale, what you can do is manually go in and unallocate it. Okay. So that means you have it in the system, but you don't have to worry about it, right? Because it's there. It's still the work order. You haven't changed anything, but it allows the other salesmen to sell that material because you won't be needing it for a while. Okay. When doing that, I recommend putting in a task to order more and keep in mind specifically for that job how much you're going to need. So you put in a future task. Okay. Obviously, I don't recommend doing it that way. There's a lot more that can go wrong, but sometimes if you have to sell a job, you have to sell a job. Okay. Any questions? So yes. So for all inventory products, they have to be ordered from the inventory purchase orders. You cannot order it from the work order itself. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So another thing that we've added in recently that may not have been used, okay, inventory transfer, okay, so you can go between warehouses, so you can select and make it transfer between warehouses. So you see this product is in here, and you can say, hey, I'm going to send it to a different warehouse, things like that. So you can do internal transfers, okay, it's pretty simple. You select the product, you hit internal transfer, you say where you're going to ship it to now, and then you hit transfer. Then are you sure you want to record this product as new inventory? Okay. So what does that do? Okay, we're going to see how it affects everywhere else again. Okay. So now what it's done is it's split PO 29, and you have the 5 boxes here and the 75 boxes here and the 5 boxes here. Okay. So it splits it up, and that's why they have the same purchase order number, but they're in 2 different lines. It's because the location is different. So you've now split it up. Okay. So sometimes you will get a duplicate PO here on the same product, but it's really not a duplicate purchase order. It's just using all the financials for this. The other thing that's nice about doing that inventory transfer is if it costs you money to ship it, then you're able to bump up that work order price a little bit more, right? Because you're doing more true cost of the product. Okay. Next is inventory skids. So this is how you can set up when you're preparing for an installer now. This is a new feature that I'm going to be presenting again on Friday, so I'm going to skip it for now. Okay. And then the last one is overview. Okay. What this overview is going to do is it's going to show, it's basically a financial report of what you guys have in inventory. Okay. So you can see the products here. So total cost, work order cost, estimated sale, estimated profit. So you're going to see what's going on from each of these materials. Okay. Then we have the picked up quantity, picked up cost, picked up sales, picked up profits. So you can see what's going on there. On hand quantity, on hand, allocated. So each one of these sections, you're going to be able to see how much value you have within the specific product. Okay. So then when you go into, so it's pulling the cost from the work order, and it's going to know the value of what you have in inventory. So it's a financial report to kind of give you an overview of what's going on. An overview, and it breaks it down into the different categories. Okay. Any questions? Huh? Okay, I'm opening it up to any other off-topic questions because I covered kind of everything I wanted to do with inventory today. Any off-topic questions? Burning desires. Okay. So, like I always do,